This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live, where apparently it's time for the shaft, balls, and all. Holiday, my lord, clinically, welcome in. Good evening, everyone. Light one up, tip one back. Warlord, our hearts go out to you. The UK suffering a I'm trying to be serious over here. I'm all choked up. UK suffering a terror attack earlier today on a synagogue in Manchester. We're going to be covering that. Security heightened here in the US at synagogues across the country. The flotilla has almost all been intercepted. I think one boat still remains. We'll get you caught up on that. Moon rocks and THC infused weed. Oh my. We're going to talk about, guess what? The Epstein statue of Trump and Epstein holding hands has reappeared on the National Mall mysteriously today. We're going to talk about the Epstein files and how all Trump's buddies are all implicated in it. We got new information after a trove of documents released. However, as Jamie Raskin said, it really seems like Trump wanted this shutdown. This shutdown is allowing the Republicans not to seat the newest member of Congress, who would be the 218th vote to release the Epstein files. I don't know how Republicans aren't, like your ranking, not Republican politicians, the rank and file Republicans, all the ones that were like Epstein didn't kill himself 6 years ago. How are you guys not foaming at the mouth right now? Come the fuck on. All the Republicans have to do is gavel in and seat the newest member of Congress. We got the Epstein files. Isn't that what you guys have been wanting? Call your congressperson. Call Mike Johnson. I don't get it. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says that Trump is trying to blackmail his way out of this shutdown, and I have multiple data points to show you that's exactly what happened to me. There is this girl. I'm not on Facebook much anymore, but I will scroll from time to time, and I scrolled earlier, and there's this girl talking about, like, well, both sides refused to compromise and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Could you not have opinions on shit you know nothing about? And she said, I absolutely know what I'm talking about. What would you like to know? And I was like, what is this shutdown about? You know, what are the Democrats' two demands, I said. And do you know what she responded to me with? It was absolutely written by ChatGPT. And I just rolled my fucking eyes. You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, how am I supposed to have a conversation with somebody who spits out some shit from ChatGPT that says, you know, Republicans are concerned with illegal immigration and they fear that it is an assault on our country and blah. Like, that is not a legitimate position, and it takes someone with brain power to fucking understand that. Fucking AI is not going to tell you how to fucking determine who is lying to you and who is full of shit. Like, come on. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Modern politics is cooked. Fleshy Bathhouse 5? Fleshy Bathhouse 5. I would like many viewers. Let's make me popular. On Kunk last night, she was like, "This is a country founded on freedom, which came as a surprise to all the slaves they owned. Yeah, Warlord, you weren't here last night. We played Kunk on Earth. Are you a fan of Kunk? Philomena Kunk? You always complain. Philomena Kunk, it's a BBC fucking show. We watched that after the stream last night. Philomena Kunk. I didn't know who she was. I found her through memes. Philomena Kunk, Diane Morgan, a fictional, ill-informed investigative reporter and the central character in a series of British mockumentary television shows. Oh, I fell for the joke? You fucking know who she is. God damn it. Did I already go over all the shit we're going to be talking about tonight? Also, apparently my YouTube fame is now waning. We're back to the normal amount of viewers I get on a Troll Patrol. It was like 45 for last night's show instead of the 500, 600 or something it maxed out on the other night. Yeah, it's Jover. No more YouTube algorithm goodies for Justin. Probably because I haven't been posting like smaller form content.
Come on, man.
Well, this is probably going to be the last Troll Patrol for a little while. We're going to be going on hiatus. Maybe I do need to retire. I appreciate everyone who has donated to my cause. I thought about Curiouser told me I should just do a marathon stream and watch me sleep with the kitties and stuff. And I was like, maybe. No, for real this time. Unless something miraculous happens in the next day or two, I'm gonna have to pack it up. I thought about it. Don't think I didn't think about what I could rob and possibly get away with. Like, nobody keeps cash on hand anymore. The Lord has a point because of the banking regulations. I'm not sneaky enough. I'm not quiet enough. But if you want to make sure that the Troll Patrol continues, gets back on as soon as possible, if we do have to take a hiatus, the links are somewhere in the description, yada yada. They'll pop up in the chat. Thank you to everyone who gave me $5, $50. I got several different people donating those amounts. I appreciate you guys so much. I hate having to ask for money. I looked into the ICE. You have to last 3 years in order to get the 50 grand sign-on bonus. I couldn't last 3 years. I was like, I can do it for 6 months. Get the 50 grand. Like, they give it to you in, like, you get 10 grand after a year, 10 grand after the second year, and then like the remainder that's backloaded. I thought about it. Don't think I didn't. I don't want to join the army. Who wants to join the army? I thought about joining the Peace Corps at one point in time when I was hard up years and years ago, but the Peace Corps doesn't really do anything anymore. And you don't get a lot of money for doing it. Thread, welcome in. I don't know. I mean, people are being like, you got to make a living somehow. Israel's not trying to pay me. None of these right-wingers are trying to pay me. So I don't know what to do. Earlier today, a synagogue in Manchester, England was attacked, apparently being labeled an act of terror. We're going to talk about how it is going to unfold.
Armed police.
Oregon gal, welcome in.
On the suspected attacker.
Get back! If you're not involved, move back! Get away! Somebody stay with me!
Concentrate on my business, probably.
Go away! He's got a bomb on.
I won't be able to stream because I just won't be in a position where I can.
Members of the public away.
Man, he's got a bomb on his jacket, mate. He's trying to go into school. Mate, he's stabbed him.
Oh, Thread, I'm sorry to hear that you got laid off, my friend. It's a hard time for everybody. I don't know. I don't think AI stole my job, but I believe it, played a role in it. It's part of it. I think it's like I told my landlord. I've been freelance video editing, audio editing, motion graphics, all that shit for 7-8 years now. And it got to the point to where I didn't have to ask for work. Work came to me. I was constantly having people wanting me to do shit for them, and I would turn shit down. My problem was just, sitting down to do the work. The work is not there. Something happened in the last 6 months. It's just not there for me. So I don't know what there's the whole idea of getting a real job. I work in media. Flash, welcome in. It's the worst time to go, CNN isn't hiring. MSNBC isn't hiring. Fucking how many companies have shut down? Vice and Vox and now this and shit. I've tried to get hired with Right Wing because most of the production staff that works at Right Wing Media, they're left wing. I tried to get hired on at the Daily Wire one time. Shit, I even said in my cover letter, Matt Walsh once called me a formidable voice in the culture.
JustinFREAKIN is a formidable voice in the culture.
How do you not get hired on in the Daily Wire when Matt Walsh is giving you that kind of a ringing endorsement? Boring once retweeted me. I'm not a salesman. That's why, if I did sales, my life in broadcasting would be a hell of a lot easier. Because I'm a jack of all trades, I would have job security the entire time. I don't do sales. Not because I can't. I probably could. I don't want to. Because all the people that I knew that are still working in radio and have job security or working in television, they do sales too. They do sales. My program director, when I was at the radio station 25 years ago, even told me, he patted his stack of orders on the thing. He's like, I'm the program director. I host the main show, but all my income comes from the advertisement I sell. And I'm not that person. I don't want to sell advertising. Even if it's something like television that I believe in. I believe in the product. The conservative dude? That was my mentor. His name is Randy Jones. I would have guessed that he was an old school Southern Democrat that went Bush conservative. I would have hoped that he would have been repulsed by Trump, but I couldn't make that guarantee. He definitely banned the Dixie Chicks from being played on our radio station in 2003. So, yes, well, I'm from Kentucky. Everyone was still Democrat in local politics in the early 2000s in Kentucky. You couldn't win as a Republican in Kentucky at the time. And now that's completely changed. I've seen the realignment happen with my own eyes. I knew Robert Byrd personally. I don't know if I've told you guys this. I've met him a couple different times because the radio station that I worked for, one of our stations was in West Virginia. And so, like, specifically, you know, I predominantly covered Kentucky news, but we covered West Virginia news too. So, and Robert Byrd and Jay Rockefeller were the senators. I've met both of them. Rockefeller, actually, wish I had him on audio. I don't think I have it anymore. I don't know that I can find it, but I had him on audio wishing me happy birthday. Senator Jay Rockefeller wishing Justin Mullins a happy birthday. But I get upset because, like, people are like, oh, Robert Byrd, the head of the Klan, yada, yada, yada. Like, first off, he was never the head of the Klan. Get your facts straight. And he renounced the Klan and fought against them the rest of his life. So for you to slander him when, like, the people that support the Klan are on your side is absurd to me. Anyway. There's somebody on YouTube that would like to call in, dispute me, prove me wrong that Trump shut down the government in order to stop the release of the Epstein files. I think he did. Uh-oh, here's Smokey. Lay down, Bubby. Lay down. Lay down. Also, tonight, once again, this is not something I'm personally into, but it's a big deal culturally. I'm a huge music fan. At midnight tonight on Kick and D Live, we're going to do listen along to, what's it called? Life of a Showgirl. The new Taylor Swift album drops at midnight tonight. She joins Congress whenever the Republicans let her join Congress. It's just a thing. You're telling me no, you won't even be here. Think of the chat's ears. It's a cultural moment. It's a cultural moment. Anyway, let's get to the news, and then we can get this fucking show over with, and we can move on to fun stuff. I'm sorry. It's a thing. I probably wouldn't have stayed on until midnight anyway. So just think of it as extra content. I don't know. I guess there won't be. This was all written since she's been in a happy relationship, hasn't it? We'll find out. Apparently some of the lyrics to one of the songs leaked, and people are having a field day over the lyrics. It's something about it said a Charlie XCX song, but I didn't see Charlie on the credits. I have no idea. I have no idea what this. Apparently, she recorded it while she was on the road for the Eras tour, predominantly when she was in Europe. I think a lot of it was recorded in like Denmark or some shit. So I'm a music fan. I know what a cultural moment is. We're gonna listen to Taylor Swift at midnight, but we're probably gonna be done with the Troll Patrol by 11. So we've got some time to kill. Let's hope she drops some anti-fascist songs. It's not a cultural moment. And I am so tired of hearing right-wingers bitch about fucking Bad Bunny. I am so done with Bad Bunny. I think her best years are behind her. Her last album was not impressive at all. So I'm kind of amazed she's dropping one. The Tortured Poets Department, is that what it, that one sucked. So or maybe that's the reason why she's dropping another one this fast. Anyway, let's get to the news so we can get through this shit and get to some fun shit. How about that? Manchester, England, hit with a terrorist attack, a synagogue attack, 2 people killed. It was apparently an act of terror.
Armed police, their guns trained on the suspected attacker.
Get back! If you're not involved, move back! Get away! Somebody stay back!
I don't know that they have the suspect in custody, but they apparently know who they are looking for at this point in time. Warlord, do you have an update beyond that?
Everybody else! He has a bomb! Go away! He's got a bomb on him! Bomb? Mate, he's got a...
They try to get members of the public away.
Man, he's got a bomb on his jacket, mate. He's trying to go into school. Mate, he's stabbed him. No, he's got a bomb. Get out.
A victim of the attack lies on the floor.
Mate, if he detonates...
That he had a bomb.
Mate, I'm just jumping out of this in a minute. He's going to blow himself up. He's trying to press the button.
When the attacker ignored their instructions.
Like, shoot him!
These pictures show a knife and an item we believe was strapped to the attacker's body. In those first
Looks
moments,
white to me.
Suspicion this was a terror attack prompted a response within minutes and of overwhelming scale. The fear there could be explosives. All this at a synagogue on the holiest day of the year in the Jewish calendar. 2 dead, along with the attacker, who took their lives. For those who call this community home, it is shattering.
Well, oh nope, I gotta rephrase that. 35-year-old Jihad al-Shami, a British citizen of Syrian descent. The 35-year-old Jihad, goddamn name was Jihad. Just because your name is heroin doesn't mean you have to sell it. 35-year-old 35-year-old Jihad al-Shami, a British citizen of Syrian descent.
Today, like I said, being an auspicious high holy day, with all fasted since 6:30 last night, you want to feel secure, you want to be able to go to places and feel that you can just walk around and do what you can do.
It's ridiculous, honestly. I don't know what goes through people's minds when they target innocent people. It's just, it doesn't sit right with me.
I've never been frightened. I've been in shelters, sirens, army bases, bombed at in First Gulf War, Second Gulf War, served in the army there. I've never been scared.
There you go. You heard that?
And today I'm scared. This has happened, in my neighbourhood.
That noise you hear as she's talking, to people already on edge, they speculated was the sound of a controlled explosion. Barely 100 metres from the scene.
Probably setting off whatever device they thought he had. It is amazing there were only 2 people that died in this attack.
A street. One neighbour here reported seeing people being detained. Police have confirmed 2 arrests.
This attack has been officially declared as a terrorist incident, and the investigation is now being led by counter-terrorist police. As has been confirmed by CT policing, we believe that the identity of the offender has been established, but until we are certain of this fact, it is premature to set out this detail at this juncture.
Attacks like this are felt far beyond where they happen. the Prime Minister offering this message to the Jewish community.
On behalf of our country, I express my solidarity, but also my sadness that you still have to live with these fears. Nobody should have to do that. Nobody. And so I promise you that I will do everything in my power to guarantee you the security that you deserve, starting with a more visible police presence protecting your community. I promise you that
Tick, Stormer.
You will see the other Britain, the Britain of compassion, of decency, of love.
Security at synagogues had already been increased. The fear of just this sort of attack was real. And here, in this community, it became reality. Greg Milam, Sky News, Manchester.
We've been overloaded with news. I haven't been able to go over the internal politics in Europe and the infighting inside of the new U party, possibly U party. All the machinations inside the Labour Party, the fact that Nigel Farage probably stands a really good chance of being the next Prime Minister whenever elections are held. Your party. Not you party, your party. I'm sorry. Sorry, but that's not the official name yet. It has not been nailed down. That would be Jeremy Corbyn's left flank faction after the purging of progressives from the Labour Party. Starmer is a lame duck at this point in time, isn't he, Warlord? Like, it's only a matter of time. How long until they call a snap election? Do you think it happens before the end of the year, or is he going to be able to hold out until spring? So very, very interesting shit going on in Europe. Labor is already holding on for dear life. It's kind of amazing. You heard the news report say that they had increased security at synagogues in anticipation of this sort of attack that happened on Yom Kippur.
We begin with that breaking news. 2 people are dead, 4 others hurt in what police are calling an act of terror at a synagogue in Manchester, England.
Police say a man drove a car into a group of people, then went on a stabbing spree before being shot and killed by officers. All of this playing out as Jews around the world mark Yom Kippur.
Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson is live outside a synagogue here on the Upper East Side, where the NYPD were already on high alert before today's attack. Kimberly.
And Tanya and Sandra, law enforcement is stressing at this time there are no known connections between...
I don't know that there's a fun story.
Still, it's on the minds of many people here at Temple Israel on this Day of Atonement. A dangerous and imminent threat, authorities now calling a terror attack. These are the final terrifying moments outside of Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue in Manchester before police opened fire, shooting a man.
As soon as I heard shots, I did say, oh my God, that are shots. Then we heard plenty of sirens.
It was right around 9:30 a.m. local time when witnesses say they first spotted the man driving a car erratically towards people. He then crashed into the gates of the synagogue, got out, and began stabbing people, including a security guard. The suspect ran towards the house of worship where people were inside observing Yom Kippur, but he didn't make it in the building.
Unfortunately, in the last year, we've witnessed a whole load of terror and attacks against the Jewish people.
Authorities say the suspect was shot and killed. Initially, the bomb unit also rushed to the scene because police spotted what they described as, quote, suspicious items on the gunman.
Said being an auspicious high holy day, we've all fasted since 6:30 last night. You want to feel secure, you want to be able to go to places.
The Israeli embassy in the UK saying, quote, that such an act of violence should be perpetrated on the holiest day of the Jewish calendar in a place of prayer and community is abhorrent and deeply distressing. The British Prime Minister was attending a summit in Denmark, but after finding out about the deadly attacks, immediately left and returned to London for an emergency meeting with senior officials.
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking, and all of our thoughts are with those affected. I'm on my way back to London. When I arrive, I will chair an emergency COBRA meeting. I'm already able to say that additional police assets
A COBRA meeting? In the United States, COBRA is a supplemental health care that costs an arm and a leg that you can pay for if your employer fires you. I have no idea what a COBRA meeting would be in England. Cobra Commander? Cobra Commander? Keir Starmer going to hold a Cobra Commander meeting here in a little bit.
Officials.
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking, and all of our thoughts are with those affected. I'm on my way back to London. When I arrive, I will chair an emergency COBRA meeting. I'm already able to say that additional police assets are being deployed.
Well, somebody called G.I. Joe.
And we will do everything to keep our Jewish community safe.
Cobra does suck.
Seeing that similar stepped-up security here in New York City. Just a few moments ago, Mayor Adams issuing a statement saying in part, terrorism in the UK has stolen innocent futures and lives. Andrew Cuomo calling it a vile act of hate that shakes us all to our
Cabinet Office briefing room.
Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Real American hero, G.I. Joe. Oh, God, was The Rock in one of the new G.I. Joe movies? Ooh. Don't taint it for me. G.I. Joe is Sergeant Slaughter to me. What do you mean cancel, Justin? For fucking what? This is the only boat of the flotilla still sailing. You can see it's just after 1:30. This is the Marionette. I'm not sure the audio that we're hearing. It sounds like there's some sort of demonstration. We covered it last night. Protests broke out around the world. So I'm thinking that might be what this is. They are piping in the protests onto the boat. Possibly keep the spirits up of the people who are still sailing. Let's go. We'll check back in with the live shot. Once again, that was live on the last boat, still sailing through the blockade. Israel intercepts Gaza aid flotilla. Activist Greta Thunberg was detained. Organizers said 13 boats have been intercepted as the convoy presses on toward the Palestinian enclave to try to break the Israeli blockade and deliver aid. This was updated just 13 minutes ago. Organizers said 13 of the 43 ships in the convoy vessels, which includes activists, lawyers, and members of parliament from across the world, have been intercepted as of early Thursday local time. Earlier, Israel's foreign minister said on X that several vessels have been safely stopped and that their passengers, including Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg, were being transferred to an Israeli port. An accompanying video showed Thunberg on the ship's deck. Maybe that was the only ship they still have video on that was still sailing. Because it says they've only intercepted 13 of the 43 ships, so that means 30 are still sailing. In another post, the ministry said Israel had offered the flotilla a way to deliver any aid to Gaza through safe channels. It also said it had informed the activists that they were approaching an active combat zone and violating a lawful naval blockade. Organizers described the Israeli... And it's not a lawful blockade. It's not. It has been condemned by the international community. Organizers described the Israeli Navy's actions as illegal and said they would continue their mission to break the siege. In an update on Instagram, a member of the group shared that participants from multiple countries, including Spain, Italy, and the United States and Turkey, had been detained. We went over it last night. It was 38 people from, 19 countries? A number of world leaders have weighed in. Reports of the interceptions are very concerning, according to Ireland's Deputy Prime Minister, Simon Harris. This is a peaceful mission to shine a light on a horrific humanitarian catastrophe. Colombian President Gustavo Petro, who has described the war in Gaza as a genocide and a crime against humanity, expelled the Israeli diplomatic delegation after learning of the detention of 2 Colombian women traveling on the flotilla. On Wednesday, the Israeli military began tightening the siege of Gaza City, announcing it. We watched it. We saw people talk about it as they were leaving, announcing it would stop Palestinians from returning to the northern portion of the enclave. And see, that's one of the reasons why I hate to ask for money. There are people starving in Gaza. There are people starving in this country. I'm perfectly capable of being able to earn my keep in a capitalist society. But unfortunately, in order to be able to do an endeavor like this, it does take support from your viewers and followers. Check in one more time. This is the Marionette live stream. Flash shared out the tracker. This is the AP. Dropsite News has a reporter with them, and Dropsite News has a live feed as well. I think Dropsite's what we were watching last night. Don't worry, if I have to, I'll take a break and I'll be back. I hate missing out. Like, we've got several debates. Gubernatorial debates, mayoral debate, the New York City mayoral debate. I hate missing those. But honestly, a little vacation for a couple weeks wouldn't hurt me. Vacation. It was the AP that said they had intercepted almost all boats. That's where I got that from. Yeah, George Soros, where are you at? George Soros, give me money. Washington Post story that we read was off. Because AP is reporting all but one. Collective punishment indeed. This is one of those let them fight moments. The right is tearing itself apart. Here is Matt Gaetz. God, I gotta hit the content warning for this. There's so much that needs a content warning here. This is Matt Gaetz on OAN His guest is Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they are talking about Ted Cruz.
One of the members of the U.S.
T-minus, welcome in.
Slavishly loyal to Israel is Senator Ted Cruz. When you laid out positions like you've just laid out on the show, he called you crazy, which just strikes me as a way to avoid a substantive discussion about what's going on. Why do you think people like Senator Cruz are so focused on the U.S.-Israel relationship?
I will not be making TwitchCon in Southern California. Apparently Hassan is pulling out because he feels that he may be targeted and is worried about other people's safety, which, good. I agree with him on that one. His presence there probably would endanger other people at this moment in time, and I hate to say that.
As things are challenging in our country.
You know, I wish I had $1 for every comment under his post that said, "She never said Jews." Why would you say that? I mean, that was literally comment after comment.
You didn't say Jews, but we all knew what you meant. We all knew what you meant. I read the tweet the other day where she was talking about if I end up dead, because it's Candace Owens over here and shit talking about how Israel killed Charlie Kirk. That's what we're talking about.
Why do you think people like Senator Cruz are so focused on the U.S.-Israel relationship as things are challenging in our country?
You know, I wish I had $1 for every comment under his post that said, "She never said Jews." Why would you say that? I mean, that was literally comment after comment after comment. And I didn't say Jews. I didn't say anything about Jewish people. What I talked about is basically fearing for my life because I'm demanding all the files be released, the Epstein files be released. So I'm not really sure why Canadian
release them.
Senator Ted Cruz would attack me that way and would literally say something so utterly foolish. He basically outed himself and he told everyone which country he cares about most, and he's done that a lot lately. He's definitely expressed over and over again the country he loves the most. It's not Canada, the one he was born in. It's not the United States, the one that he serves as a senator, but it's definitely Israel.
Now, MTG brings up a good point. Why would Ted Cruz be against releasing the Epstein files? I have no idea why Ted Cruz would be against releasing the Epstein files.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
I tried to go find the full thing. You guys saw me on stream. We found a longer clip, but it didn't go longer after he said it. I looked it up. AI told me on an AI summary that he did not correct himself, that he ends his comments after that. I want to be fair. That seems like a slip, but
how about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? How about we all...
I'd rather not, Ted. I'm just throwing it out there. I think pedophiles are exactly the people we should be attacking. But right now, the right eating each other. This is Dinesh D'Souza on with Laura Loomer.
How Candace built her reputation.
And I will say before
talking about Candace Owens.
Continue, I think it's really important to mention that while Candace was doing that, she was a product of Jewish money. I mean, we cannot ignore the fact that Candace Owens got her career started working for people like Dennis Prager, Jewish, working for people like Ben Shapiro, Jewish, working for Turning Point USA, where she was recruited at the David Horowitz Restoration Weekend Conference. And I was there. I literally was standing feet away from Charlie Kirk when he hired Candace Owens. I believe it was like 2017. It was the same year that Kanye West had said that, it posted the tweet that said, "Oh, I love the way that Candace Owens thinks." And that was a conference that was really primarily for people in the counter jihad movement, a lot of the very pro-Israel American. I'm not saying that these people are Israeli, but these were donors who predominantly supported issues like counter jihad. I know that you spoke at Restoration Weekend because I met you and your wife there in person for the first time when I was working for James O'Keefe and helping
counter jihad,
and you were a speaker at Restoration Weekend. And so I believe that you were there the same year that Candace Owens was there as well. So you can testify to this. And I bring this up because, yeah, these are issues that other people have been talking about for years. But I think that it's very dangerous when you forget where you came from. And I think that it shows a really big character flaw and a sign of ingratitude when you forget the people who helped you arrive at the dance, like the people that took you to the dance.
I'm sorry, kick people. Your chats are not showing up for me. If they're not on the screen, I don't see them. That's why I have to turn you guys off and turn you back on. So 1 second, I got to turn kick off, turn it back on. That will fix this happens every night. I can't wait to be back on Twitch. Just 1 second, then refresh. There we go. Everything's good now. Come on back in with us, Twitch people. If Flash runs for Congress, try to bag Laura Loomer to infiltrate. Oh my God. DJ Dub, welcome in. We are going to be doing Taylor Swift tonight at midnight. That doesn't sound right. We're going to be doing a listen along to Taylor Swift's new album tonight on Kick and D Live at midnight. The Troll Patrol probably won't go past 11, so we'll have a little time to kill in between. We'll watch a police chase or something. But who knows? Who knows? DJ Dub, sorry you've had a busy couple of weeks, my friend. Our hearts go out to you. No honeypot. That makes sense. Remember when they got her to eat dog food? Remember when some dude made up, was it the Good Liars? It was somebody like that made up some dog food brand and registered a website and everything for it, and then ended up sponsoring Laura Loomer and got her to eat dog. It was somebody like that on Twitter. It got her to eat dog food. I mean, I wouldn't eat cat food, I don't think. I tell you what, if you guys donate enough money, we get up to $2,000, I'll eat cat food on the stream. I'm desperate. Yeah, you got a point, Flash. You got a point. Well, I've been pretty hungry and I've not ate cat food, so. You raise me, well, it's dry cat food. You raise me $2,500, I will eat cat food and I will shave my head again. That's the last thing in the world I want to do is shave my head again. If you help me raise $2,500, I will absolutely shave my head again. Just to grow it back out again and for it to take another 2 fucking years to not look good. Well, here's the thing. Last time I said it was the popular vote thing, and I never expected Trump to win the popular vote. He didn't get plurality, so that's how I weaseled out of that one. It will be a shaving cream and shaving razor shave. I mean, I'll do it on stream. Last time I used an electric razor and then did the blade afterwards. But if you really want to watch me do it on stream, I don't think you guys are going to be able to raise $2,500. But if you want to share it out, clip that shit. ASMR head shaving vids. $2,500. I'll eat cat food and I will shave my head. Where's Warlord at? He might donate it just to get me to shave my head. Oh, but he probably wouldn't do it because I backed out on it last time. But Trump didn't win a plurality of the vote. Or, I mean, he won a plurality. He didn't win a majority. So that's what I'm going with. I had to block him because he never donated the money. He ain't here no more. Was that the whole reason I was seeing a surge? Am I going to have to go unblock the guy? I blocked the motherfucker and then, like, all my viewers are gone now? That's weird. No, I see AW over there on YouTube right now. You guys are awesome. But we were having, like, 20, 25 at a time, and I was ending up with, like, 600 people who'd watched the show. Like, huh, that's higher than usual. I guess I'm not trolling them the way I was before. I thought Trump shut down the government to stop the Epstein files from being released would be gold for them, but apparently not. Drug cartels are... I trolled too close to the sun. Drug cartels are unlawful enemy combatants, according to Trump.
President Trump's war on drug trafficking getting even larger in scale, the president declaring cartels as unlawful combatants, paving the way for wartime powers. Here's D.C. Bureau reporter Ross Ketchke.
Tonight, the Pentagon taking new steps to use military force against drug cartels. In a memo sent to Congress, the White House saying the U.S. is now in an armed conflict with the narco gangs and labeling their members not just as criminals, but as enemy combatants.
And now we'll look at cartels.
Earlier this week, President Trump addressed the recent strikes on alleged narco boats in the Caribbean that he says were bound for the U.S. Those 3 attacks killing 17 people.
The first one we know of now was a fishing boat. Not a single one of those people were drug runners.
The White House claiming all those on board were members of drug cartels, now designated as foreign terrorist organizations.
We had a lot of drugs coming in through water. We call it water drugs, just a simple term. We don't have any boats on
water drugs.
Republican Congressman Carlos Jimenez backing the president, writing, "I fully support our military operation in the Caribbean to destroy the criminal drug cartels run by illegitimate dictator Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. President Trump must have all options on the table to annihilate these thieves." Much of the crackdown on cartel activity has focused on Venezuela and Maduro, the U.S. placing a $50 million bounty on his head and designating Maduro as a known leader of the infamous Cartel of the Suns. This week, Maduro saying he's prepared to declare a state of emergency over what he calls U.S. aggression.
We'll see what happens with Venezuela.
That gang, that something to the Suns or whatever, it doesn't even exist. It's not real.
Maduro, the U.S. placing a $50 million bounty on his head and designating Maduro as a known leader of the infamous Cartel of the Suns. This week, Maduro saying he's prepared to...
Cartel of the Suns. It's not real. Look it up. It's not a real cartel.
Declare a state of emergency over what he calls U.S. aggression.
We'll see what happens with Venezuela. Venezuela has been very dangerous with drugs and with other things.
And in that memo to Congress, the Pentagon did...
Yep, CIA creation.
The alleged drug boats were fairly limited in their scope, but that the U.S. military is at the ready to continue combating any cartel activity.
And Ross, as you know, some members of Congress have raised concerns over the strikes on those drug boats. How are they responding to the White House now saying the U.S. is officially in an armed conflict with the cartels?
Well, tonight we are hearing from the lead Democrat of the Senate Armed Services Committee. He's raising some of those very same concerns tonight, Louis. He's saying that he agrees the United States needs to continue to try to stop the cartels, but worries these moves from the president amount to him effectively trying to declare and carry out a war without any approval from Congress.
I don't remember if I showed the proof on stream that we now know it was a fishing boat. It was not drug smugglers. Venezuela's Maduro says he's ready to declare a state of emergency after U.S. military strikes on alleged drug boats. Today, the consultation process begins to declare a state of emergency in accordance with the Constitution and protect our people, our peace, our stability if Venezuela were attacked by the American empire, attacked militarily. That was according to Maduro in a televised address earlier in the day. Vice President Declay Rodriguez told foreign diplomats that Maduro had signed a decree giving himself special powers as head of state to act in matters of defense and security in the event the United States dares to attack our homeland. A government source, however, told AFP that Maduro had not yet signed the document. The vice president presented the document to show that everything was ready, that the president can decree it at any time. The left-wing authoritarian Maduro placed Venezuela on high alert over a major U.S. military deployment near his country's coast. Maduro was awarded an honorary doctorate on Tuesday from a military academy and spoke on stage at the university while accompanied by Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez and other senior military officials. Giving a masterclass after receiving his degree, the authoritarian leftist defended his... I love the way they keep putting that in there. Defended his response to the... I don't think he is near as authoritarian as Trump. You don't refer to Trump as the authoritarian right-winger or the authoritarian fascist, do you? He defended his response to the U.S. You're talking about the president of our country illegally bombing a boat of their country, and you're calling their president the authoritarian. That framing by CBS is just wrong. He also denied claims by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio that Venezuelan military is in cahoots with drug cartels. I reject and repudiate the comments by Marco Rubio, and I defend the morality of our soldiers. The United States is now offering a $50 million bounty for the arrest of Maduro. President Trump has deployed 8 warships and a nuclear-powered submarine to the southern Caribbean as part of the stated plan to combat drug trafficking, but which appears particularly aimed at pressuring Maduro. U.S. forces have destroyed at least 3 suspected drug boats in the Caribbean in recent weeks, killing 14 people in a move decried as extrajudicial execution by UN experts. Last month, thousands of civil servants, housewives, and retirees lined up in Caracas to join the country's militia in case there is a U.S. invasion. Let's talk about the justification Trump used in issuing these attacks. Trump declares he can wage secret wars against anyone he calls an enemy. By the way, he's labeled atheists enemies. He's labeled Antifa, radical leftists. We're enemies. We're enemies of the state now. The Trump administration is saying that one person, the president, now decides if the United States is going to war. Trump is waging a secret war against undisclosed enemies without the consent of Congress, according to a confidential notice that was sent to several congressional committees this week and obtained by The Intercept. It marks the most detailed explanation of the legal underpinnings offered by the administration for a series of lethal attacks on boats in the Caribbean that began last month. President Donald Trump has decided that the United States is engaged in a declared state of non-international armed conflict with designated terrorist organizations, or DTOs, according to the notice. It describes 3 people killed by U.S. commandos on a boat in the Caribbean last month as unlawful combatants, as if they were soldiers on a battlefield. This is a significant departure from standard practice in the long-running U.S. war on drugs, in which law enforcement arrests suspected drug dealers as opposed to summarily executing them. The president directed the Department of War to conduct operations against DTOs pursuant to the law of armed conflict. The United States has now reached a critical point where we must use force in self-defense and defense of others against the ongoing attacks by these designated terrorist organizations. The people launching attacks are the United States. Trump has justified the strikes by asserting on social media that the United States is attacking terrorists, but the notice from the Department of War to the Congress committees marks a fundamental change in official policy, which states that Trump has unilaterally determined that cartels are non-state armed groups whose transport of drugs constitutes an armed attack against the United States. Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island, the top Democrat on the Armed Service Committee, told The Intercept that the Trump administration has offered no credible legal justification. Drug cartels are despicable and must be dealt with by law enforcement, but now, by the president's own words, the U.S. military is engaged in armed conflict with undefined enemies he has unilaterally labeled unlawful combatants, and he has deployed thousands of troops, ships, and aircraft against them, Reed told The Intercept. Yet he has refused to inform Congress or the public. Every American should be alarmed that their president has decided he can wage secret wars against anyone he calls an enemy. Man, if only some group, maybe some leftists like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, were yelling about not letting Bush get away with his abuses of power, designating people terrorists. The New York Post, and I need you on this one, Flash. The New York Post says they have interviewed a member of a leader, mind you, of the Sinaloa cartel. And he's saying that Trump is actually stifling their operations.
I do what I have to do. You know?
Why do you say you do what
I'm sorry, I said New York Post. It is the New York Post that we're watching right now, but they have clipped CNN.
I do what I have to do. You know?
Why do you say you do what you have to do? Couldn't you stop doing this?
No puedo.
You can't.
Ya cuando entras, ya no sales muchas veces.
Once you get in, you can't get out. Do you think what President Trump has been doing has been making your job tougher?
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
But it's becoming more difficult, you think?
Yeah.
In a bizarre interview on CNN, an anonymous member of the Sinaloa cartel explained that Trump's immigration and drug policies have put
the sweater vest screams Fed.
Tradecraft. Dressed conspicuously in a black mask, sunglasses, black gloves, and a hat to conceal his identity, the alleged leader of El Chapo's former gang met with CNN's senior national correspondent, David Culver, inside an SUV at a Phoenix parking lot. The cartel member, who said he is not a U.S. citizen, revealed that cartel members are using Americans to help transport illicit drugs into the country.
You all are using social media to get to young people, young teens, and recruiting them to be part of it. Some of them, many of them, are American citizens too.
It's just like that.
That's life.
Okay, if Vice had done this, because this is very Vice-esque reporting, they would tell us for sure that that dude was the Sinaloa cartel because they would have verified it. They would have gotten proof from him. Vice would go to the cartel. They would know for sure that it was the cartel. I'm skeptical.
It's like that, you know. But
so even though they may get caught and spend many years in prison, that's their fault, as you see.
Yeah.
CNN further revealed that cartels are charging much more to get migrants across the southern U.S. border because of Trump's crackdown on illegal migration.
Now that I believe.
According to Fox News, border hoppers are expected to pay $10,000 each instead of about $6,500 per person prior to the Trump-era policies. The Trump administration has dramatically stepped up its battle against the cartels. In early September, President Trump revealed that the U.S. military killed 11 people in a drug-carrying boat off the coast of Venezuela.
There's just no way.
Deploying warships.
And CNN didn't even say allegedly.
A few weeks later, the president ordered 2 more strikes against drug smugglers on boats, killing 6. The anonymous man on CNN.
Once again, CNN just call them drug smugglers. We do not know that.
For its robust approach to halting the human.
The one that looks like Sean fucked is what you're saying, Flash.
In September, Margarito J.
That dude's nuts.
Who made millions with his twin brother as members of the drug cartel, praised the president in an interview.
I think the aggressive approach is going to send a strong message to every drug trafficker across Latin America in places like Venezuela that's used as a transport hub from Mexican cartels and Colombian organizations to transport their drugs, that they're going to go after everyone.
Yeah, I can believe that, Flash. You got to be like jacked. I've seen Tuco and Lalo. You guys all watched Better Call Saul, right? You guys know who I'm talking about when I say Lalo. Lalo is one of the greatest characters in the history of television. Fight me. My God. I'm not Hassan, Flash. I'm sorry. Jesus. The Justice Department has fired 2 of the highest level prosecutors in the Eastern District of Virginia. 2 sources familiar with the matter told CBS News just days after President Trump ousted the U.S. attorney there and picked a replacement who charged former FBI Director James Comey. The sources said Maya Song, a longtime high-ranking official in the office, was fired last week. Michael Benary, an accomplished and experienced national security prosecutor, also was terminated. The firings come amid turmoil in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Alexandria, Virginia, days after the Justice Department filed criminal charges there against James Comey. Mr. Trump removed his own appointee, Eric Seibert, from the post of U.S. Attorney and installed White House aide Lindsey Halligan to be the new federal prosecutor in Eastern Virginia. Halligan successfully secured a grand jury indictment of Comey days later. Staff at the U.S. Attorney's Office had circulated a memo arguing that charges shouldn't be brought. Home to the Pentagon and the CIA headquarters, the Eastern District of Virginia is one of the largest federal prosecutor offices in the United States, with hundreds of staff and a uniquely broad set of international and terror cases. Benary was the lead prosecutor in the ongoing high-profile criminal case of Mohammed Sharifullah, a suspected plotter in the Abbey Gate terror attack in Afghanistan in 2021, which killed 13 American service members and about 170 Afghans as the U.S. military withdrew from Kabul. Sharifullah scheduled to go on trial later this year. Song was a high-ranking official under Seibert before Seibert was ousted. A MAGA-aligned writer, Julie Kelly, posted allegations earlier this week that Benary was part of a resistance to filing a case against Comey. He probably was. A Justice Department spokesman said the agency does not discuss personnel matters. A spokesperson called Halligan an outstanding attorney who is working tirelessly to hold criminals accountable and uphold the rule of law. Song and Benary are the latest in a growing series of fired prosecutors who had ties to high-profile cases, including those who handled the cases of January 6th and prosecutors who handled the criminal probes of Mr. Trump. Stacey Young, executive director of Justice Connection, told CBS News, "We're losing some of the country's best prosecutors who've served the United States with distinction under multiple presidents. Too often, job performance under this Justice Department leadership isn't measured by competence. In fact, it can be disqualifying. In many cases, blind loyalty is the only factor that matters." Did you know the new pope is woke? New pope is woke.
For the first time since celebrating his inaugural Mass, the American Pope from Chicago weighing in on U.S. politics. Pope Leo seeming to criticize the Trump administration over the president's immigration policies.
Someone who says that I'm against abortion, but I'm in agreement with the inhuman treatment of immigrants who are in the United States. I don't know if that's pro-life. So they're very complex issues. I don't know if anyone has all the truth on them, but I would ask first and foremost that there be greater respect for one another.
The rare remarks coming after his predecessor, Pope Francis, also slammed the president's crackdown on illegal immigration. Tonight, the White House pushing back on Pope Leo's comments.
You've been very open about your Catholic faith. How do you respond to that?
I would reject there is inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the United States under this administration. There was, however, significant inhumane treatment
of
immigrants in the previous administration as they were being trafficked and raped and beaten, and in many cases killed over our United States southern border.
Pope Leo also said President Trump's rebranding of the Department of Defense to the Department of War was concerning. But he did show support for the president's proposed peace plan for Gaza, calling it realistic and saying he hoped it would be accepted. Tom?
Realistic? Did he read the same plan that you guys and I read the other night? Realistic? Seriously? Then again, he's a dude in a dress that thinks he's the mouthpiece of a fucking deity, so what does that motherfucker know about realistic, right? Not high enough for this shit. I have like one good bowl left. I'm saving it for later. Might try to scrape some more. There might be some keef in my keep catcher, actually. We'll work on it here in a little bit. Statues depicting President Trump and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein have made their return to the National Mall after being taken down. The statues, which had a plaque between them that read, "In honor of Friendship Month," were spotted on the mall in late September but were later removed. Their presence has come amid swirling controversy around Trump's relationship with Epstein. "We celebrate the long-lasting bond between President Donald J. Trump and his closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein," the plaque read. The New York Times was previously told by the U.S. Park Police that the statues were not in compliance and therefore had to be taken away. In recent months, the Trump administration has faced backlash from both sides of the aisle for its handling of information related to Epstein. Speaker Mike Johnson and other Republican congressional leaders on Tuesday shot down Democratic requests to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Gravala, saying she will be sworn in when the House comes back to regular session. The action deprived a petition of the necessary signature to force a vote on a bill compelling the Justice Department to release all files related to Epstein. Liberals are free to waste their money however they see fit, but it's not news that Epstein knew Donald Trump because Donald Trump kicked Epstein out of the club for being a creep. That never happened now. That was the line right-wingers went with for years that I always disputed, but now we know from the horse's fucking mouth he kicked Epstein out for stealing his underage masseuse. Trump said that. Trump literally said that. Howard Lutnick. Apparently out here saying that Epstein was really good at blackmailing people.
The government shutdown has delayed any push to release all the Department of Justice's files on Jeffrey Epstein. But one member of the Trump administration is opening up about his alleged interactions with Epstein when the two used to be neighbors. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick saying Epstein's high-profile associates not only knew of his behavior, but that some even participated. ABC's Rena has the latest.
He's one of President Trump's top cabinet officials, and now Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is speaking out about convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Lutnick, who once lived next door to Epstein, told a New York Post podcast Epstein once gave him a tour of his home, saying Epstein's high-profile associates not only knew of his behavior, but that some even participated.
Did they see it and ignore it, or
no? They participated.
Right.
That's what his MO was, get a massage, And what happened in that massage room, I assume, was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever.
Without providing evidence, Lutnick saying he believes Epstein may have traded alleged blackmail videos for a lesser prison sentence during his first criminal case in 2008.
I assume way back when, they traded those videos in exchange for him getting that 18-month sentence.
Well, let's get Alex Acosta to come and testify about it, shall we? He was the prosecutor. Also a Trump cabinet official.
Also described Epstein as, quote, gross.
I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, and the right kind of massage.
His comments are a major break from the narrative from the Department of Justice and the FBI. FBI Director Kash Patel saying this when he testified last month.
Who, if any,
fucking disgusting.
Did Epstein trafficked these young women to, besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None.
Liar.
Or I would
liar.
Yesterday.
Bullshit.
That he trafficked to other individuals.
President Trump was friends.
We know for a fact he trafficked other individuals. We know it. You know it, Kash Patel. You said it when you had a fucking radio show. God, do you think we're all fucking stupid? One more time. Right-wingers, if you're watching this later, if you're watching this right now, Trump is a pedophile. You're dumb and gullible. Trump is a pedophile. You're dumb and gullible. Flo, Torchy, welcome in.
With Epstein in the 1990s, but they later said they had a falling out. And he's also said the effort to release the files has been blown out of proportion.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats and some stupid Republicans.
ABC News has reached out to both the White House and Commerce Department for comment, but have not heard back. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Let's talk about Epstein's notepad, which apparently gives us some new details.
6, as the push to release all the Epstein documents intensifies, WPBF 25 News investigators obtained the original message pads seized from the late Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach mansion back in 2005. These handwritten notes show a steady stream of calls from young girls arranging and canceling massages. Also among those notes, messages from some of Epstein's most powerful contacts and high-profile friends. Our investigative reporter Terry Parker is here with a look at those.
Yeah, right after weather, yes. A block is usually your top stories and your local shit. Your B block is weather. Your C block will usually be national news.
Revealing notepads.
And Terry, this is an inside look at how Epstein was running his underage sexual massage ring and the well-known figures who were calling him.
Right. These message pads revealed Jeffrey Epstein was getting daily calls both from high rollers and from high school girls.
Look, if you walked into Jeffrey Epstein's home on Palm Beach Island at any given day, you would find a young girl sitting behind a desk with a phone and a message pad. This was ordinary behavior at the Epstein mansion.
When police raided Jeffrey Epstein's mansion in 2000,
That's not ordinary behavior for anybody else.
pads detailing the calls from middle and high school girls hired to serve Epstein's needs. Joanna, she doesn't want to come to the movies, but call her if you want a massage before or after the movie. Adriana hasn't confirmed Julie for 11 yet, so she is keeping Brittany on hold in case Julie doesn't call back. Name redacted. She is wondering if 2:30 is okay as she needs to stay in school. Julie, she would like to speak to you, I believe, about college.
He knew that they were under 18. He knew that they were still in high school. So clearly these girls looked young, they were young, and it would be inappropriate for someone even showing up to socialize with Jeffrey Epstein not to question that type of behavior.
Attorney Spencer Kuvin represents several Epstein victims. He says Epstein's mansions were always filled with teenage girls and sometimes with powerful men who he says should have been suspicious.
How old is this girl, and why is he having someone this age around him?
Yeah, these are supposedly like the brightest, the best and the brightest in the business and finance world. Remember,
on a regular basis.
The 2005 message log shows several calls from billionaire Les Wexner, owner of Victoria's Secret, and Jess Staley, former top executive at J.P. Morgan's bank. Numerous calls from magician David Copperfield setting up visits and saying hello. Calls from disgraced filmmaker Harvey Weinstein, and 2 from fellow Palm Beacher Donald Trump. And then there's the steady stream of girls, mostly from financially struggling families in West Palm Beach, paid $200 for every time they brought someone new, as this message apparently shows. She wants to know if she should bring her friend Holly tonight. And just because those names were on the message calls doesn't necessarily mean anyone was doing anything
bullshit.
criminal. Trump, for example, that year
bullshit.
was involved in a high-stakes real estate competition with Epstein. He may have been calling about that, and he says he did break ties shortly afterwards with Epstein after Trump won the deal. We do have many more.
Oh, so you're gonna throw out the third excuse that I've heard for why he kicked him out of his club. I've heard 3 different stories for why Donald Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out. None of them match what Trump has actually said.
Names, though, that we got off those message pads. To find out who they were and why they were calling, go to WPBF.com, click on my story, and you can find it all there. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
Well, thank you, Terry. I got a big issue with some of the way some of these reporters are talking. And make no mistake about it, our government is shut down right now, probably just so they can't release the Epstein files. I think this might all be smoke and mirrors. If the Republicans wanted the government open, it would be open right now. I think the real reason they don't have the government open is so they don't have to release the Epstein files.
And it also is not lost on anyone that shutting the government down allows them not to swear in our new colleague, Ms. Grijalva from Arizona, who would be the 218th signature to discharge the Epstein files and to put a vote on that on the House floor. So it's convenient for them to shut the government down, and they're not interested in making government work for our constituents. And it also is not lost on anyone that shutting the government.
I agree with Raskin. I think they're doing it because of the Epstein files. I think Trump wanted the shutdown because, like, you can't tell me that Republicans are that dead set on raising insurance premiums. They would fucking kill their own chances in a midterm in 2026. The newscaster trying to avoid Trump suing the station. Absolutely. I don't give a shit. I want Trump to sue me. Please sue me, Trump. It would be the best thing that ever happened to me. Honest to God, it would get me the publicity I needed. Please, Trump, sue me. You are a pedophile. Donald J. Trump is a proven pedophile. I've got the proof. He raped children with Jeffrey Epstein. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. If you're just joining us, we're going to listen to Taylor Swift's new album at midnight. What's it called? The Life of a Showgirl or something like that. I'm not a Swiftie, so it should be fun. You'll get my honest opinion of it. I might like it. I might not. Who knows? Byronic, welcome in. What do you think? You going to enjoy the Taylor Swift album or not? Is there anybody excited for the Taylor Swift album? Here is Mike Johnson, who probably is very excited for the Taylor. No, you know who is excited for the Taylor Swift album? James fucking Comey, the former head of the FBI, is a huge fucking Swiftie. Mike Johnson probably thinks that Taylor Swift is too woke. Yes, there's Taylor Swift's new album. I didn't know it was tonight. I knew it was on the horizon. I didn't know it was this soon, but it is tonight. So I guess we'll listen to it together. Midnight on Kick and D Live. Sorry, YouTube people. It comes out at midnight. I'm going to listen to it on Spotify. This is Mike Johnson saying that there's nothing to negotiate with Democrats about.
How in the world could they blame the people here who have done our job and sent over a clean CR to keep the lights on? There is no gimmick. People say, why aren't you negotiating with Schumer and Jeffries? Because I quite literally...
He's red as fuck.
There's nothing I can pull out of the bill that was a Republican priority to say, oh, we won't do that. Why don't you guys vote for it now? I don't have anything. I didn't put anything in it to send it over. I'm stunned that they have decided to shut the government down and hurt people. It is on them 100%. The New York... How in the world could they blame the people?
No, not on Democrats. I'm so tired of people saying that. Allow me to show you one of the leading Democrats in the Senate, one of the leading Democrats in Congress, tell you exactly why it's the Republicans' fault. Here is Senator Bernie Sanders. Here is Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Hey, everybody. I was walking here in Washington, D.C., and who did I bump into?
Just happened to bump into AOC. This wasn't planned at all.
So, one of my favorite members of the United States Congress, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
And one of my favorite senators.
All right. Anyhow, as everybody knows, we are now in a government shutdown. Republicans are attacking Alexandria, attacking me. Why didn't you vote for this clean CR to keep the government open?
Well, there's nothing clean about it. This is one of the dirtiest tricks that is being pulled on the American people right now. Starting today, October 1st, and throughout the rest of the month, Americans across this country are going to start getting notifications that their insurance premiums are up to doubling. We're talking about...
Say that again.
Your insurance,
I don't think it's up to. I think I've seen multiple people show their premiums today, and that doubling seems to be the norm. That premiums doubled, not up to doubling.
Monthly insurance premiums are going to double for millions of people across the country.
Somebody I saw that posted from Alabama, theirs tripled, went from $300 a month to $900 a month. They were making $65,000 a year.
When we are already paying, by far, the highest prices in the world for healthcare at a time when people can't afford it right now. So what happens?
That means people getting bankrupt over chemotherapy, people going to the pharmacy and not being able to get their insulin. And frankly, it means a lot of Americans are going to be in danger. And Republicans want us to rubber stamp that. So what are we going to say to that, Bernie?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not only be in danger. Let's be clear. And doesn't make me happy to have to say this, but there have been studies out there that when you combine doubling premiums for the ACA and then throwing 15 million people off of Medicaid and the ACA, the result is, according to studies at Yale and the University of Pennsylvania, 50,000 low-income, working-class Americans will die every single year. All right? If you don't have the money to go to a doctor and you're sick, you die. And that's what we're looking at. That's what this clean bill is about.
And so Republicans want us to rubber stamp that, and we're saying no. We need to stand up for the American people.
I think you're right, Flash. The only way he keeps his seat is if she runs for president.
They want our votes. They need to make sure that we're protecting every American and making sure that we can do what we can to continue to make healthcare accessible, affordable, as we work to make it a human right for all.
Right. So just back that up. Remember, right now,
he's doing the Schumer. He's got his glasses all the way down his nose.
It's not to guarantee healthcare to all people, and these guys want to make it even worse. We're not going to let that happen.
No, we're not.
Thank you.
Onward.
Thank you, AOC and Bernie, out here fighting for the working people. Now, there's been a lot of people talking about Congress not taking a paycheck. It is constitutionally mandated that Congress take a paycheck during a shutdown. And I have thoughts on that. The reason why we mandate that they are able to keep their pay is because we don't want a system in which only rich people can serve in government. I don't want to see AOC not get her salary while Congress isn't in session because she needs it to live. And we want her to be in Congress. So financial barriers to being in Congress is an issue because, like, a lot of people point out, the Congress makes 130 something, 140 something thousand a year. I might be off. They might have given themselves a couple more raises since then. But it's something like that. But if you have to have a house in your district and it's 174K, okay, it's up to that now. They've given themselves a couple raises. If you have to have a house in New York like AOC does, and then you also have to have a townhouse or a condo in DC and you're flying back and forth a lot, 174K is not a fucking lot. It's not. It really isn't. So then we had that dipshit that called in, was like, oh, AOC's a multimillionaire. Like, brother, I think her net worth is negative when you add in her student loans. Maybe we should create some kind of dormitory or something, and they all have to live in a dormitory. No, that could be good. They have to interact with each other. Eat at a cafeteria and shit. Well, you don't want some of them. Yeah. Even Socks was like, he huffed at that suggestion over there. God, I love that cat. Trump is using blackmail to try to get the Democrats to bend to, but I don't know that he wants the government open, to be honest with you. But he's going to use it for all he can. Gonna cancel $8 billion in clean energy projects across the country.
It's day 2 of the government shutdown, and with a Jewish holiday today, neither the House nor the Senate are in session. As the blame game continues, the Trump administration is now warning it could begin firing federal workers as soon as today. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest.
With no signs of the government shutdown ending anytime soon, this morning Republicans placing blame squarely on Democrats.
Well, welcome everybody to day 2 of the Democrat shutdown.
President Trump meeting today with his budget director to determine which agencies he recommends be cut, either temporarily or permanently. The president also blaming Democrats on the conservative One America News Network.
Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault.
The Trump administration warns it could start that unprecedented step of firing federal workers as soon as today. ABC's Mary Bruce pressing the vice president yesterday.
Why does the president want to fire some workers and not just furlough them? Why is this shutdown any different?
Well, first of all, we haven't made any final decisions about what we're going to do with certain workers. What we're saying is that we might have to take extraordinary steps, especially the longer this goes on.
Democrats demanding Republicans reverse massive cuts to Medicaid and extend expiring Obamacare subsidies so health care premiums don't rise for millions of Americans next year.
Republicans say they'd rather shut down the government than make sure that Americans get their access to health care. I think they're wrong.
The White House is insisting the government needs to reopen before discussing health care policy. President Trump now turning up the pressure, targeting projects in Democratic-leaning states, freezing $18 billion in infrastructure funding for New York City, home of both Democratic leaders, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, and blocking $8 billion for energy projects in 16 Democratic-led states.
The president said today he's meeting with the budget chief, Russ Vought, to talk about which Democrat agencies he recommends be cut. What agencies are on the table for that conversation?
We're going to look at agencies that don't align with the administration's values that we feel are a waste of the taxpayer dollar.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
I beg any right-winger that might be watching me right now, I'm going to try to find this quote. Contrast the way Donald Trump acted right there to when, I'm going to see if I can try to find this quote here. Red states were the big winners of Joe Biden's bill, the Build Back Better Act. Red states got far more money than blue states from the Build Back Better Act. When asked about red states benefiting the most from that bill, Joe Biden said they're the ones that need it the most. And he's right. I live in a red state. Oh, I don't anymore. I used to live in a red state. Used to live in the reddest of the red states. He said they're the ones that need it the most. He governed for everybody. Oh, Oregon gal. Thank you so much. Oh. And I will be back, and that will help a lot. It's about a tenth of what I need to be on Sunday night, but we're close. We're getting there. Thank you so much, Oregon gal. And you, like, seriously, you just sent me a very generous tip like a month ago. Thank you. I wish I could hug you right now. And you know, I'm not completely, like, I may fucking pull it out. My landlord has been super cool. He came in here and hung out with me the other day. Apparently, get this. My landlord had pictures of me on his phone from when I was a kid. Why? Because apparently his wife is my cousin. Oh, thank you, Flo. Thank you for that. And Kick has already given me money. Kick paid me out way faster than Twitch ever has. Wild. So he shows me the pictures of me. It's like, oh, my wife is your cousin, and tells me the side of the family that, you know, that we are cousins on. Remember I told you about the aunt that used to fill me up? Because Curiouser asked me, she's like, well, which side of the family was it on? And I was like, well, it's not actually on one of the sides of the family. It's on the, remember the aunt I told you that's my half aunt that used to fill me up? It's that part of the... That I guarantee was a GOP mommy. Holiday, I don't know. I don't know. I grow more on Twitch. I get out to a new audience on Twitch. When we come back, we're going to be on Kick and Twitch. I've gotten away with playing copyrighted things on Kick, so I'll do Kick and Twitch all the time. Because apparently if you stream that's why I've been trying to stay on 5 hours every night. Because if you stream on Kick like 5 hours, you get like a minimum base. And I'm usually on Twitch 5 hours anyway when you add in, the television shows. But when it was just, the Troll Patrol, I'm only 2.5, 3 hours most nights. I don't know which is easier to know. If you really want to support me, direct tips, Patreon. I get way more of the money from Patreon if you want to do like recurring thing. And my levels are $1, $3, and $5. I don't ever want to charge anybody. Like you get access to pretty much everything at $1, and then like there's a few extra videos you get at the other levels. If I start getting some more people on Patreon, I'll start putting out more content like that's Patreon exclusive. And also, if you guys haven't been here when I've talked about it, I don't know that I'm not going to rebrand. I'm going to weigh it. I love the Troll Patrol. I love the colors. I love the rainbow. I love the blue, the bluish purple that's like, my color. I love the logo. I love the troll head. I love everything about it. I love the song that Media Winch made, Join the Troll Patrol. But it might be holding me back. And I pitched if I was to rebrand, I pitched it to Curiouser. This is what I'd do, and she loved it. She thought it was awesome. Yeah, Twitch and Kick is where it's at. And then I'm gonna stop. The live streams we're still going to show on YouTube, and I'll still do the chat on there. Maybe you won't have Kick chat. I don't know. Oh, you mean like Flash? I don't know if you were around when I did the Patriot Patrol. I tried to be a right-winger for April Fool's one year, the very first April Fool's. And I called for genocide within like minutes of being on stream. I was like, oh, I gotta go delete the VOD on this one. But it was totally something right-wingers would agree with, the way I said it, too. And I'm like, ooh. And Warlord was there for that and has wanted me to do the Patriot Patrol again. I put the fucking sunglasses I have on the troll head. You'd totally be like, oh, yeah, that's it. Probably the same kind of joke, Flash. Trump is threatening layoffs and firings as the shutdown continues.
Day 2 of the government shutdown, and there is no end in sight, with furloughed government employees anxious about their jobs and their paychecks. Today, President Trump posting online that he's meeting with Russell Vought, the head of the Office of Management and Budget, to, quote, determine which of the many Democrat agencies Vought recommends the president cut and which work.
Fuck, I don't care. I'm ready to do fun shit. I'm sorry, I can't cut the news short for you guys. Let's fuck this. We don't want to hear from Hakeem Jeffries. Trump's weighing to bail out whether he's going to bail out farmers or not. Scott Bessent is blaming Joe Biden for the shutdown. Okay, here we go. A reporter says that Antifa hit her. I seriously just skipped 30 minutes of news. I'm sorry, guys. But it is like really boring shit. Fuck that. Let's get to the fun stuff.
A journalist covering the, quote, complete lawlessness in Portland said she was left with a painful black eye.
The complete lawlessness in Portland. While their B-roll Does that look like lawlessness to you? It's complete lawlessness in Portland as people are marching peacefully in like one of the... That's a line a kindergarten teacher could be proud of.
When a masked Antifa-affiliated protester whacked her in the face with a flagpole. Post-millennial reporter Katie Daviscourt appeared on Fox News with a big bruise under her right eye that she says she got while covering the nightly protests outside an ICE building in the long-troubled Oregon City.
Last night I got assaulted and I immediately ran to a Portland police officer, hunted down the suspect, chased her through the streets and said, "This is my assault suspect. Can you guys finally do something?" And I had eyes on her for about 35 minutes. Portland police refused to come in and make an arrest. And I had 3 officers just standing there watching me try to hunt down this suspect.
This Antifa
probably because you're lying.
Started approaching me and waving a flagpole in my face. And then I kind of turn around, and that's when she swung it like a baseball bat and directly hit my eye.
Nah.
Also told Real America's Voice host Jack Posebek. The Portland Police Department issued a press release asking for the...
Jack Posebek. Jack Posebek. Oh my God, is this AI? Did AI read that? He's trying to say Jack Posobiec, but I think that this might be an AI reporter that the New York Post is using, because I feel like somebody at the New York Post would know who Jack Posobiec is.
Try to hunt down this suspect.
This Antifa-affiliated subject just started approaching me and waving a flagpole in my face.
It's suspicious that there's no video of it. Look how many people are filming. You were a reporter for the Post Millennial, and you were there with your crew. No, there's no way. If you had it on video, you'd show it, and if it actually happened, it'd be on video.
And then I kind of turn around, and that's when she swung it like a baseball bat and directly hit my eye. Daviscourt also told Real America's Voice host Jack Posebek. The Portland Police Department issued a press release asking for the public's help in identifying the suspect, but police denied that they refused to help the journalist.
Yep, that sounds right, DJ Dub. So DJ Dub says he was watching her live stream, or another streamer watch it, and they were provoking people all night. Yep, they were instigators. Remember back to 2020, I didn't have all of you here at that time, but we kept watching video after video. Like, we would see an edited piece of video, like Antifa attacks this people on a bus with a hammer. But then when you watch the full video, it was the people on the bus who had the hammer. And the protester grabbed the hammer from them when they tried to hit the protester with it. It was wild.
The department's dialogue liaison officers attempted to talk to the suspect to hear her side of the story. She would not stop, so the officer told her she was being detained. She refused the lawful police order to stop, and she fled, police said. Police have also said that they met with the victim and that the case is being investigated by its Major Crimes Unit. President Trump has directed the War Department to send all necessary troops to Portland to protect the city and its ICE facilities from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists.
Just insane.
Months of daily protests. Oregon has filed a lawsuit to block Trump's plan to deploy National Guard troops to Portland. Trump also confirmed he is authorizing full force if necessary, amid the spate of daily protests that have intensified since June.
Portland is unbelievable what's going on in Portland.
What's going on?
The destruction of the city. Well, I'm going to look at it now because I didn't know that was still going on. This has been going on for years. So we'll be able to stop that very easily.
These people live in fantasy world.
Antifa activities. Rioters there have repeatedly attacked and laid siege to the ICE facility, according to the...
And every time they show violence, it's just like some fire. It'll be like a trash can on fire or something.
Department of Homeland Security. Trump has also deployed the National Guard to Washington, D.C. and Memphis as part of an effort to crack down on crime. Earlier this year, he briefly sent the National Guard to Los Angeles to address concerns about rioting. A journalist covering the, quote, complete lawlessness in Portland said she was...
I can't get over that. The complete lawlessness in Portland. As you see the most peaceful demonstration you could possibly imagine. Orwellian indeed. Hit her with a flagpole. They need the troops to protect the ICE facilities, because what might happen to the ICE facility if the troops aren't protecting it? I don't know. Maybe they'll get paint thrown on them?
Stopping you. How many permits say? How many permit violations now? 27?
National Guard troops prepping for Portland as far-left violence grips the city. Our own Bill
grips the city.
Video of federal agents making arrests outside of that ICE facility that has been a flashpoint for
Jesus Christ.
Bill joins us live on the ground there in Portland with the latest. Hi, Bill.
Sandra, good afternoon to you. ICE Portland tells us that their federal building behind us here has been the scene of nightly protests.
Bill Malungan?
To June 1st. We are talking more than 100 nights straight. Now, last night's protest wasn't very big, maybe a couple dozen people out here or so, but we did get exclusive access to ICE and that building behind us as they made some arrests. Let's take a look at the video. This was last night. Typically what happens is about every hour or so, you're going to see federal agents in gas masks open up the gates of the property to either make a targeted arrest or clear the way for vehicles to come in and out as crowds of protesters and agitators are waiting for them outside, many of them yelling obscenities on bullhorns, some of them wearing black bloc with helmets or shields. Now, we did see agents make this targeted arrest of a protester last night. They said they had to be out on the lookout for after the feds say he was involved with dumping red paint on the federal property on Tuesday night. Take a look at this picture here. Federal agents showed us this photo of that same protester from Tuesday, which they say is the same guy covered in red paint and flipping up double middle fingers at the agents on the roof. Then this was him last night in the intake area, though. We witnessed him visibly shaking and appearing terrified as we watched federal agents process him after his arrest. He was pleading with agents, saying he is just a social media influencer. Now, earlier in the evening, ICE did give us a tour of this embattled Portland federal building. They showed us their brain room where cameras watch everything happening.
Embattled!
Also their rooftop where
chaos ravaged Portland. The best they could come up with was a dude threw some paint on a building and a woman may have got hit with a flagpole in the eye. My God, you guys are really fucking stupid. Not my chat, right-wingers that believe this shit, that tell me how lawless Portland is.
Sniper teams provide security. ICE's Portland director, Kamala Wamsley, told me she's extremely frustrated with Portland police.
Kamala Wamsley?
Mayor and city council largely block police from responding to any violence at ICE's building. Take a listen.
They're not really supposed to respond to this building.
Mm-hmm.
There have been folks that have been assaulted right down here on the street, even across the street, and it takes Portland police a while to respond, or sometimes they don't respond at all.
Is that frustrating?
It is frustrating. It's frustrating for us to watch people be attacked on the street and know that we don't have the authority to be able to really step in unless there's some nexus to federal law.
Mm-hmm.
That's frustrating for us.
And last night we did see multiple verbal scuffles almost get to the point of physical confrontation.
Verbal scuffles.
Police liaisons were standing.
They are down here talking about chaos ravaged Portland because of multiple verbal scuffles. They've got a reporter live on the scene. I'm appalled. As someone who has worked in journalism and broadcasting my entire adult life, I am appalled. This is irresponsible. This is beyond propaganda. You are just lying to your audience. On behalf of a fascist state. You are fascist state propaganda, Fox. You should be ashamed of yourself. Have you no decency? They asked McCarthy that brought an end to the Red Scare. Have you no fucking decency?
Just across the street.
No, you don't.
But deciding not to intervene, and that in part is why President Trump has said he is sending the National Guard here to Portland. He says the locals aren't doing their job when it comes to protecting this federal facility, so he's going to send the military in. But as of this morning, as you can see, the National Guard not out here just yet. We'll send it back to you.
All right, we'll be watching for that. Bill Malugin in Portland, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click. Fox.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Click here to subscribe.
The most compelling analysis. You will not get it.
Oregon gal, are you upset at what's going on? I know that hits home for you. And we're all going to have to face it. They're in Chicago. They're in Memphis. I'm sure Minneapolis is on the list. The DOJ is actually asking a Portland judge to recuse himself from the case.
Breaking news at this hour in Oregon's legal action to try and stop the deployment of 200 National Guard troops to Portland. Fox 12 investigative reporter Adrian Thomas joins us live with the update. Adrian?
Hey, Leah, in a motion just filed in federal court this morning, the U.S. Department of Justice is now saying the federal judge presiding over the state's lawsuit may have a conflict of interest. And this is because, according to U.S. Department of Justice officials, that the federal...
Hold on, Kick. I got to reset you guys again. I just noticed it. Give it 1 second and then refresh. You got cut off. It is an absolutely peaceful place. It is a beautiful, peaceful place. The throat is a great target when punching a Nazi. I don't think Flo's comment made it over here. Yay, you guys are back now with your peppy memes from Kick. The DOJ is asking a judge in Portland to recuse himself from the National Guard case.
Breaking news at this hour in Oregon's legal action to try and stop the deployment of 200 National Guard troops to Portland. Fox 12 investigative reporter Adrian Thomas joins us live with the update. Adrian?
Hey, Leah, in a motion just filed in federal court this morning, the U.S. Department of Justice is now saying the federal judge presiding over the state's lawsuit may have a conflict of interest. And this is because, according to U.S. Department of Justice officials, that the federal judge here in Portland, Michael Simon, is married to Democratic Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici. Now, the federal government was given a deadline of this afternoon to respond to Oregon and the city of Portland's lawsuit over National Guard deployment. Now, this lawsuit was filed at the beginning of this week after President Trump announced over the weekend National Guard troops would be deployed to Portland to protect the ICE facility on the South Waterfront as well as other federal property. Also over the weekend, Representative Bonamici can be seen here participating in a news conference with Governor Tina Kotek opposing the troop deployment. Now, in the filing, U.S. DOJ officials said the government suggests that, quote, Judge Michael H. Simon recuse himself from this case to avoid the appearance of partiality. This is because one of the members representing plaintiff, the city of Portland, and Judge Simon's spouse, Representative Suzanne Bonamici, has interfaced in her official capacity with each defendant on the subject of this suit. Now, the defendants in this case being President Donald Trump, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and other administration officials.
Secretary of War.
To reference Saturday's press conference that we just showed you, where the congressman voiced her opposition to the troop deployment alongside Governor Kotek, and formally asked Judge Simon to recuse himself from this case and reassign the lawsuit to another judge in Oregon's federal court. We'll keep following developments in this case throughout the day, but for now, live in studio, Adrian Thomas, Fox 12 Oregon.
Adrian.
liked her shirt. I'd wear that shirt. Make homemade dog food with boar meat. Hey, if we get up to $2,500, if I can raise $2,500 over the next couple of days, I will eat cat food. I will shave my head and I will eat cat food. We determined that earlier in the show. And that counts if you donate, like you're listening to the replay of this on YouTube or on Spotify. That counts for you guys too, if you help raise that money. Or you're over on Odyssey or something. I will eat cat food and shave my head. Why not? 6 people were hurt in an explosion in Houston earlier today.
KHOU 11 starts right now with a breaking news alert.
We'll get to it.
Right now at 4 o'clock, an explosion rocks a downtown Houston hotel, sending several workers to the hospital.
I could see, glass raining down, and, parts of the building were kind of like flapping in the breeze. So that's I knew there must have been some kind of explosion.
If you don't donate, Justin will eat cat food because he's out of food.
Now littering a downtown street as we get our first look at the damage done inside.
By the way, Flash, the wild hog thing is like every time that we tried to pass sensible gun laws, some stupid Republican from Arkansas would be like, I need my AK to shoot wild hogs.
Coverage from the site of the blast to the traffic impacts and what happens next. We have been following this breaking news since our noon broadcast.
And we can now tell you at least 6 workers were injured when a bank of tankless water heaters blew up.
Our Jason Miles, one of the first reporters on the scene. He is live from Texas Avenue and Austin Street with the very latest. Jason.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, this is as close as we can get to the hotel that was supposed to open very soon. Take a look toward the top of the building, and you can see those shattered out windows and part of the exterior wall bulging out, not on just one side, but at least 2 sides.
Usually, I would assume a gas explosion.
As well, within the last couple of hours from inside the building. Right now, investigators believe a bank of tankless water heaters exploded, though it's not clear if there was natural gas involved. 6
tankless water heaters,
as you mentioned, were injured, transported to Memorial Hermann in the mid.
Those things are insane, too.
Including burns and lacerations. No one else besides construction crews were inside the building at the time, since, again, the hotel has yet to open. And fortunately, not a lot of people were outside on the street as glass and other debris blew out. That could have been a much different situation if there had been, say, an Astros game going on nearby, or if this had happened during rush hour. Here's a bit from my conversation with HFD's communications director. Can you kind of summarize the response? A lot of personnel here. I guess initially when you hear explosion or fire in a high rise, it prompts a pretty big response.
Exactly. So you've got kind of your standard response that we would have for a house fire, apartment fire, then that escalates with a high rise, and then because there was a report of explosion, we also had hazmat that was added.
HFD and the city.
T-minus, be careful out there. Oh, and answer your question. Yes, my aunt used to fill me up. my half aunt, not step aunt, half aunt. We shared. My grandmother was her mom, but my grandfather was not her dad.
The explosion, while others inspect the structural integrity of the building itself. The federal agency OSHA, which oversees workplace safety, expected to get involved at some point as well. Coincidentally, there's a banner on the construction zone fence that says, quote, committed to zero accidents. You may be able to notice behind me, no more fire trucks are here on the
committed to zero accidents.
Are still here. In fact, we've seen them going in and out of the building behind me. Now, as far as this intersection of Texas and Austin, it could be closed not only for hours, but potentially days. So keep that in mind if this is part of your daily commute. Reporting.
All right, they keep reporting, but we got all the details. It's not that big of a deal. Yesterday, a building collapsed in Brooklyn. How am I making you Appalachians look bad? I'm just telling my story. I'm telling my story. You dispute my story. You tell me my Republican aunt from West Virginia didn't molest me when I was in 8th grade. Cleanup underway after an explosion at an apartment building in the Bronx.
Right now, repair crews are taking apart what's left of that ventilation shaft that collapsed yesterday in the Bronx. That demolition began early this morning with workers removing the remnants brick by brick. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis is live in the Mott Haven section with the latest. Marcus?
And Sandra, for now, the crane that was helping remove the workers remove those bricks has come down. That work on hold right now. We're seeing plenty of tenants go into the building with food that they're still getting from the community center across the street. And then even this is part of the recovery operation. All these
yeah, that's why I had that revelation on stream, Flo. I'm not supposed to have that. I should be telling a therapist about this, not coming to the realization on stream.
That need to be replaced in the building.
They gave us a hot plate to cook until they get the boiler, a new boiler.
Victoria Lieutenant was able to get through the night without hot water and cooking gas. She's among the residents of 205 Alexander Avenue who stayed in the building just hours after yesterday's dramatic explosion that leveled the 20-story ventilation shaft. Tenants who live on the F&G lines have been evacuated, but some, like this woman who lives in an H apartment, chose to stay in a hotel.
It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking there, being there, and we're afraid. So, yeah, we didn't want to stay there, but we're coming here today to get our things and leave back out again.
Throughout the night, crews worked methodically to remove loose bricks from the side of the building. The investigation continues to pinpoint exactly what went wrong, though it's believed a gas leak to a faulty boiler triggered the blast.
I mean, it wasn't gas in Houston just now, but it's usually gas.
Residents back into their apartments is replacing dozens of doors that were forced in by the fire department as first responders went floor by floor, making sure everyone made it out safely. Other accommodations are taking shape.
The portable boilers have arrived last night. We hope that we should have heat and hot water later on tonight. It takes a while to hook that up, about 18 hours to hook it up. We want to make sure it's done correctly.
This morning, tenants groups and lawmakers said the collapse underscores the need for federal funding.
Public housing has been so systematically starved of funding.
Fuck you, Richie Torres.
Of $80 billion and counting.
And so as we speak, city officials conferring as they continue to discuss the repair process that's taking place. Again, the goal is to get heat and hot water by some point tonight. Once they get those portable boilers hooked up, those residents on the F&G line, they will continue to be out of their apartments for the time being. We're live in Mott Haven. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Warlord, still awake. It's late in Britain right now. We had a dude at a nightclub in Brooklyn, was it 2 weeks ago? Federal prosecutors have released stunning video on Wednesday that showed the chaotic moments of a nightclub massacre that left 3 people dead and 10 others wounded.
Stunning new video of a gang-fueled massacre in real time. 40 rounds fired in 6 seconds as innocent people scurry to safety. A killing field, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, which released the footage from troubled hangout known as Taste of the City. The firefight leaving 3 dead and 10 wounded in August. This evidence released Wednesday after the FBI arrested the first of 3 alleged shooters. Prosecutors say Elijah Roy, seen highlighted in yellow, was one of 5 people to open fire. 2 of the gunmen were killed.
Was he at the club that day?
The 25-year-old suspect's mother and sister leaving the courthouse after Roy's arraignment without comment. However, the alleged gang member cried as he was led to jail and told his family, "I want to go home."
He's a 25-year-old young man who's in federal custody, just got transported from 20-hour lockdown in North Carolina. Of course he's scared.
The feds say they found the ex-con hiding out in North Carolina, alleging two Brooklyn rival gangs chose to settle a score, putting countless lives in the crosshairs. Out of the 10 shooting survivors, at least 2 have filed lawsuits against the Taste of the City Lounge for not providing adequate security that night, they say, which has left them with lasting physical and emotional scars. One of them, Amadou Ba, is represented by attorney Nick Romcheritar.
When he entered the lounge, no one searched him. They waved him through.
Saying the 25-year-old is now unable to work his construction job after being shot in the ankle.
Because of that, he suffers from PTSD. He's scared to go into just a normal establishment.
Well, I'm sure.
Who shot whom? Roy's attorney says it's unclear.
I can't make heads or tails of what is or isn't in his hand on the video. What I saw was my client leaving a establishment and falling down.
Whether he left with a smoking gun will be for a jury to decide.
Yeah, Flash, I didn't get who did what there. 2 of the people that are dead were part of the gangs, and then the other one was a bystander, I think. I've heard of people wanting to kill their mother-in-law. You probably shouldn't act on it. Man killed his mother-in-law, wounds his brother-in-law, but at least he injured some cops in the whole incident.
But we begin with breaking news now at 6, and stabbings and a fire unfolding in Queens.
2 people were stabbed, 1 of them has died, and 5 NYPD officers suffered smoke inhalation in that fire.
Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles live at the scene in Flushing. Darla.
Mike and Sandra, a 50-year-old woman has been killed. 5 NYPD officers treated for smoke inhalation at the scene that really unfolded quite frantically this afternoon. I want to show you just a live look of the scene right now. You can't see the home where this unfolded, but you can see a lot of NYPD officers. You see there's still an ambulance here, and this is an investigation into a stabbing and then a subsequent arson. So we have some video from earlier today. This all started around 4 o'clock. The NYPD responding to a call about a person with a knife. Then they responded to a call about a fire, and the calls kept coming in. This next one was that 2 people had been stabbed, and that is when NYPD officers rushed into the home, rushed into this address, and found a 50-year-old woman fatally stabbed. What we know from the NYPD right now is that a 27-year-old suspect is in custody. He is the son-in-law of the victim. According to police, the 27-year-old was in the middle of a divorce and drinking this afternoon, and that is when he stabbed his mother-in-law, fatally stabbed his mother-in-law, and then stabbed his brother-in-law, and then went to the rear of the home, slit his wrist, and set the fire. So that is how things unfolded this afternoon. And we spoke to some witnesses who were here at the time, who were just here as this scene was just rapidly unfolding.
I saw one of the persons, I think she was an Asian lady. She had her coat, a white coat, all blurred with blood. She had blood all over her coat. She had a lot of blood on her clothes. It's very bad. I wouldn't like to see that at all again.
Again, what we have here at the scene is a 50-year-old woman fatally stabbed. The 27-year-old suspect, her brother-in-law. Police say the 27-year-old suspect stabbed his mother-in-law, stabbed his brother-in-law because he had been drinking, upset about going through a divorce with his wife. The brother-in-law is being treated, obviously, for his injuries. The suspect is in critical condition after slitting his wrist and setting a fire in the room, in the rear of the house after the stabbing. This is, it's a pretty dramatic scene, and we're going to keep you posted as the story continues to develop. For now, reporting live in Flushing, Darla Miles, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
I'm sorry, what happened? Megan Thee Stallion posted some booty video on Instagram, and I was watching that. Sorry. I'm easily distracted sometimes. Oh, goddamn. I like Megan. I'm a big Megan fan. This 10-year-old out here learned about the real world. Got mugged on the mean streets of Brooklyn.
A frightening situation for a little boy in Brooklyn. He says he was just trying to get home when a guy with a knife walked up to him and demanded money. Imagine what went through the mind of this 10-year-old. So he walked home and fished out cash from his piggy bank and gave it to the mugger.
Well, this is the United States. I'm amazed the 10-year-old didn't have a fucking gun, to be honest with you.
Well, today the boy and his mom got a visit from police and a gift for his bravery. Lindsay Tuckman was there.
10-year-old Amir Noor was walking home from school Wednesday when a man approached him on Bedford Avenue in Crown Heights with a knife, demanding money.
And I said, I don't have any money. I don't have any money. And he said, I know you have money. So I said, okay, I'm going to give you the money. So then I started walking, and then I went into my house. He was over there, and I turned back to look at him, hoping he would just knock it off and go away.
But he didn't. So Amir gave the man $20 out of his piggy bank. And thankfully, he finally left.
That's why I complied, because if they have a knife on them, I don't have anything.
Probably a fucking crackhead.
He's bigger than me, and he's taller than me, and he has a weapon.
As the NYPD began the investigation, Deputy Mayor Kaz Daughtry decided to step in too, replenishing Amir's piggy bank, but also gifting him an iPad from the city as a thank you for his bravery.
I was about to say, give him another 20 at least.
He made the right decision.
The iPad's probably a cooler, a better present than the other 20, though.
10. I'm sure he was a little nervous. I'm just taking an educated guess here that this individual probably had some mental health issues, I would say. Because
probably.
What type of person are you to go and rob a 10-year-old?
Amir's mom is also proud of her son, who turns 11 in a few months, but says she's understandably on edge.
Now I'm just a little hesitant, of allowing him to go back and forth unless I'm like right here with him, watching him.
Well, it is a happy ending for
overall. The area seems pretty safe.
On the hunt for the suspect who tried to take advantage of a 10-year-old's innocence. In Crown Heights, Lindsay Tuckman, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
That's a feel-good story. I like that. I probably should have done this story before we did the feel-good one, because there's a group of firefighters in Maryland accused of flooding a baseball field.
This is what happened a few minutes after a player with the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts crushed a ball over the fence and onto the property of the adjacent fire station during batting practice last July 17th. Thousands of gallons of water from an engine at the station was deliberately sprayed onto the field. According to a charging document filed in the case, Montgomery County Fire Captain Christopher Riley told two players who went to the station to complain, quote, "I wanted to get your attention." The document also states Captain Riley told officers with the Maryland National Capital Park Police he did it out of frustration due to repeated incidents involving baseballs striking personal vehicles and equipment. News 4 has also learned a second firefighter has been charged in connection with the field spraying. According to the charging document, Well,
why'd you park your fucking vehicle next to a baseball field?
Firefighter Alan Barnes backed the engine out of the station on University Boulevard before removing the hose from the engine, while a video shows Captain Riley standing on top of the engine and spraying the field for approximately 3 minutes. Back in July, we spoke with the head coach of the Thunderbolts, Brock Hunter.
I come from Virginia. The team we were playing is from Virginia, so a lot of families drove an hour and a half in traffic to hopefully play after all this rain, and didn't get a chance to play. So
Some unhappy players.
yeah, absolutely. It just makes things difficult for us, but crazy experience.
The charging document also reveals paying fans had already started arriving for the game between two teams competing in the Cal Ripken League and had to be reimbursed when the game was canceled. Both Barnes and Riley declined to comment when reached by News 4 earlier today. They each have a court date in October. A conviction for malicious destruction of property carries a sentence of up to 3 years in prison.
There's just no reason for that.
News 4.
Fuck your fire station. Usually firefighters are really cool. Except the ones that are pyromaniacs. Do you guys know who Morgan Wallen is? He's apparently a pretty big deal in country music. I'm totally not a fan. I gave him a shot when he was on SNL into last season. I was like, well, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what we think about it. And the first song he did, I was like, oh, well, that's all right. That's better than some of the other songs I've heard of his. But like, it felt like it just never kicked in. Like there should have been like more to it. It's like basic bitch music. But apparently it's really popular in like bars in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He's very popular at the University of Alabama or some shit. He was arrested a couple years ago. Yeah, I think that's an insult to Toby Keith and Post Malone, to be honest with you. I see the appeal of Toby Keith and Post Malone. I like a couple of Toby Keith and Post Malone songs.
This is me and Thomas Rhett. Turn it up.
So yeah, he's in the back of the cop car and he comes on the radio, which by the way is something that has actually happened to me. When I was arrested the first time for possession, paraphernalia, DUI, they put me in the back of the cop car. I had just gotten off work at the radio station. I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, and I come on giving the weather. And I asked the cop, I said, do you know who that is on the radio? He's like, nope. And I was like, that's me! And that's also I learned a lesson. I learned a lesson that night, by the way, because I didn't want to tell anybody. My 18-year-old ass, for some reason, pled guilty and tried to just sweep it under the rug like nothing happened. I was brought into my program director's office, and I was told, if I had been the first phone call you had made, it would have been swept under the rug and nothing would have happened. Next time, call me. So, I have made the wrong decision in so many critical points in my life. I lost my job at the radio station there. I had to go to work for another radio station, much less prestigious radio station, and work my way back up. But if I'd called my boss, he would have been really mad at me. He would have cussed me out, but he would have got me out of trouble. I wouldn't have lost my license. I wouldn't have lost my job. My parents might have never found out about it. If I had just called my boss at the radio station.
This is me and Thomas Rhett. Turn it up.
Turn it up.
You don't see anybody throw anything. You don't have witnesses. You're accusing. Hey, we just want to talk to you. I get that, but he didn't throw nothing. He didn't throw nothing. I'm his bodyguard, so you have to leave. Okay. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
You don't know? Hold on.
Hey, stay right here. He's the one that threw the chair.
I'm his bodyguard. I didn't see him throw nothing. We weren't doing nothing up there. He's got nothing.
The witness saying that he threw the chair over.
Being aggressive as long as that one. I promise you that. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't put you in your face. I'll go check.
Let's go.
No, stay right here. You're not leaving yet. You're not free to go. We're investigating the situation, okay?
He's not trying to cause no problem, man. I don't know why.
Well, a chair came flying off the roof and landed right next to my patrol car over there. We're just trying to figure out what happened.
That's why. You almost hit the cop. That's why he's on your ass. You gotta call Eric Church. Does Eric Church have sway over the Nashville Police Department? I'm the biggest star in this racist country singer's bar.
They're trying to take me to jail outside of here.
Oh, he was in Eric Church's bar. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they all have their own bars. I thought he was in his own bar.
They won't let me leave.
Eric Church is on the phone.
Hi, Eric.
Talk to him.
Officer Treese. Hey, how you doing?
What privilege this motherfucker has. Well, hi, I called the owner of the bar.
Right now, a chair came off the roof of the Chiefs bar and landed next to my patrol car on the street. That's what we're getting to the bottom of right now, reviewing security cameras. Yep. We're just investigating at this point. Yeah. Right.
They're just investigating, but apparently their investigation turned up that he was the one that threw the chair.
I know I did.
Yeah.
This isn't the incident where he yelled the N-word, though. That was different.
It's not really something that we do, right? So law enforcement, we have to enforce the laws, figure out what happened. We've got a supervisor coming to the scene. So, got to treat it like we would with anybody else. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
This is like the front. This lines are marquee.
Oh, so this is them
So that's like straight down.
watching the security footage.
Like back over here. Alright, sir. So again, I'm Sergeant Allen, the National Police Department. I'll let you know conversation be audio, video recorded, okay? Yes, sir. So just watch camera footage of you throwing a chair off, landing in lane 2 of traffic. Alright? Look up.
What happened?
God damn it, boys. I know that. I ain't done nothing wrong.
You threw a chair off the roof, asshole.
Oh, this is me and Thomas Rhett. Turn it up. That's me and TR. Hey, swing.
You gonna sing for
Me
him?
right there. Come on now, me and TR.
I'll tell you something funny. That every song you hear is going to be used. I had to play with it.
Really?
Oh, the cop's a fan.
He's one of the best dudes in the world. He would definitely not be getting arrested.
Oh my God. Oh. Did you guys know that Steven Crowder trying to make a comeback? Steven Crowder is prepared if bullets start flying on campus. Body armor, bodyguards, bulletproof glass.
I say this to you watching on the left. Made me do this. I didn't necessarily want to, and everyone told me that...
Oh, you absolutely wanted to. You have not had a career. You have been in the toilet for the last 2 years. So you are absolutely trying to do this to get your name back out there and try to get back to the prominence that you once had.
This, in today's climate, could not be done unless I took unbelievable precautions, unless it was absolutely kept a secret until...
By the way, Charlie Kirk was wearing a bulletproof vest.
Mere hours before the event as a pop-up, unless I literally brought an army with me and bulletproofed the entire radius, which is exactly what we did.
So strong.
And so today, for the first time in many years, Change My Mind returns, and back to one of the places where it all began, Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. Today's subject is plain and simple. The left is violent. Will anybody be able to change my mind?
Was he not wearing it at the time because he totally used to? I guess Grok is saying that he wasn't wearing a bulletproof vest at the time. But I've literally seen him put on a bulletproof vest. You think he had fake nipples? I've seen him put on a bulletproof vest before. Grok is saying that he wasn't. Gazeta Express said he refused to wear a bulletproof vest the day he was killed. Yeah, she told the New York Times that he refused to wear a vest that day and rejected a friend's suggestion to speak in Utah behind bulletproof glass, saying he had confidence in his team that there would be security at the university. You guys may hate me for this one. This may not be a proper animal video send-off for tonight. Don't hate me.
We're going to take you to West St. Paul now, where the newest member of the police department was literally delivered to their doorstep.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be a gift, but Tim Bloss joins us now saying it kind of was.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Tim, this was the gift.
Look at that face.
It sure is. And that gift is this little guy right here. He's not so little anymore. His name is Rocky. And very soon, all of West St. Paul is going to discover that they've got a new best friend.
Hi.
There's something about a dog
Hi, buddy.
that makes people reach out, which is puzzling.
Come here, Rocky. Yeah.
Why anyone would leave this one.
So you think it was right around this area?
Yeah, right around this area is where our citizen found him.
It was 7 months ago, as winter was turning to spring, that Rocky was found cold and abandoned at the Thompson Park Pavilion in West St. Paul.
He was just a little guy. My partner said that he was very loving, very calm for a puppy, was just very happy to be around people and just be around the officers, so very social and loving.
Still, they had to send Rocky to the animal shelter, and after no one claimed him, the officers had an idea. They claimed Rocky and worked with the Soldier 6 organization to train him as a therapy dog.
Him and I are going to be a part of our peer support team with the police department, so once we're both fully trained...
Okay. So what that means is, like, if they have a kid that has been traumatized and they might have to ask him questions or something, they're going to have the dog there to pet him. So this isn't going to be a dog that's going to be sicked on innocent people. So good.
We're going to be responding to critical incidences all around the county.
To help pay for the training, the West St. Paul Canine Foundation is holding a fundraising wine tasting event this weekend at Inoni's in Lilydale. The proceeds will support all of the city's canine patrols.
Rocky's not the only one. We have 2 working dogs as well that help with apprehension and drug detection. So it's really great and helps us continue our training and supporting our dogs.
So does he like getting outside?
Absolutely.
For a dog that was abandoned, Rocky now has a home.
He's just got a really big personality. He is a goofball and he keeps me on my toes, but he's very loving. You're so pretty.
And making new friends.
He's so cute.
He was a gift that we didn't know we were receiving that day. And
You guys be nice. ACAB does not mean Rocky.
And the backstory about how Rocky got its name is fun as well. Apparently he fell asleep inside of the shoebox of one of the officers. That shoebox was a box for Rocky boots.
No.
So the name stuck, right?
Yeah.
Now, the fundraising events that we're talking about for the West St. Paul Canine Foundation is this Sunday night. Is at Inoni, which is a very
sweet baby
Italian.
Remember, at midnight we're going to be listening to the new Taylor Swift album together.
WSPPD Canine Foundation.
That's on Kick and D Live. We're gonna do something fun. I'm gonna let Byronic pick what we're gonna do.
They've helped Rocky, and I'm sure Rocky has helped them in so many ways. And Rocky's so photogenic.
As I said, this is probably the last Troll Patrol for 2 or 3 weeks.
Good around people too.
I'm gonna be on tomorrow and Saturday.
All about.
Yeah.
So this will be the last official Troll Patrol for a couple of weeks.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
Unless you guys help me out,
I'm going to take you to West.
hit up those donations and shit.
It was literally delivered to their doorstep.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be.
I'm gonna be on this weekend.
Just now saying it kind of.
YouTube people, podcast people.
The gift.
Remember, if I can raise $2,500, I'll eat cat food.
Right here.
I'll shave my head.
Anymore.
Hit those all my links. I will.
All of West St. Paul is going to discover that.
I'm back on Twitch. I still get the money from Twitch, guys.
There's something about a dog
Hi, buddy.
that makes people reach out, which is puzzling.
Come here, Rocky. Yeah.
Why anyone would leave this one.
So you think it was
$2,500. I'll shave my head. I'll eat cat food. I don't know. Might do all day fucking police chases tomorrow as like a fundraiser, a freakathon, if you will. Who knows? But YouTube people, podcast people, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I will see you soon. I promise.
And loving.
Stick people, stick with me. We're gonna have fun.
To the animal shelter, and after no one claimed him,